Hello and welcome to another video tutorial. Today we're going to be talking about shared streams. Sometimes what you may want to do is you may want to have a stream, but you don't really want that to be tied to a calendar event. And there's a bunch of use cases for that, and I'll go through some of them today. But one example is if you want to track goals over the course of time. So let's talk about how you would create a shared stream. So today, there are two ways to do it. One is you can start by creating a private stream and then sharing it with other folks, or you can start by clicking a plus button that will appear here. This is coming very, very soon. So by the time you watch this video, there will be a plus button here. So let's click on a private stream and create something. So I'm just going to call these, say, Q2 goals / OKRs, right? So I'm going to start with a blank note because I really want to fully customize this. So I'm going to click on this and I'll show you some fun things. You can obviously, do some things like this and customize, the look and feel of some of the icons on the left of this. But I digress. Let's choose Q2 goals. And what I want to do is I want to share this with basically my whole company. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to create a section for everybody. So for example, I'm going to click this plus button. And what I can actually also do is instead of the plus button, I can always use the keyboard shortcut and create a header and say I call this marketing. And let's use that keyboard shortcut again. I'll create another header. I'll call this sales. I'll create another keyboard shortcut. And this one I will call customer success. And let's create another one. And this one is called, say, engineering, just as an example. And then what I want to do is I want to create basically action items for each and every one of these. So I'm just going to... And again, I could have used the plus button, right? If I click on the plus button, I can click on action item over there, and it will just start to work. But what I can also do is use the keyboard shortcut. So the keyboard shortcut, in this case, for an action item is just a bracket, and then you press space. So that's how you create these various items. And so these are, say, my Q2 goals, right? And say that I actually like this template, and I want to use this over the course of time. And people can come in and say, say 1 million views to website, maybe, 100,000 leads, for example. You could write various things. And obviously, once you have those things, you want to assign them to other people. We can't quite assign it to other people because right now, this is a private stream. If you notice, it is in the private section. So let's click on the share button so that we can make this a real shared stream. So who am I going to share this with? Let's see. How about Harriet? Harriet would be a good person to share this with. And the other one, say, is Armin. I can share it with Armin as well. And that should be good for now. So now that I have this, I'm going to share it with these two folks. And now you can see that this is a shared stream. So you can see this people icon right next to it. And so that is that. So now this is a shared stream. It's located in a shared section. All these three people can see it. And obviously, I can share this with as many people as I want. I could share it with the whole company if I wanted. Very, very easy to do that. So once this all exists, say that Q2 is done, and now you want to create something for Q3. So what you can also do is actually, before I do that, I might want to save this as a template. So let's save this as a template, and then I'm just going to call it goals. And once I do that, and I save this as a template, now we're good to go. So now when I press the plus button, and I choose my goal template right here, and I press create, you can see that this new note was actually created. So one thing that I might want to do is I might want to call this one goals for Q3. And so now you can see that if we have the goals for Q3, we could always go back and see what happened in Q2. And obviously, if things were checked off, we would see it that way. And these can, now that it's shared, can actually be assigned to other people. And they can also have deadlines, right? So you can also have these deadlines associated with it. So what's nice about this is if you have something like your goals as a shared stream, and remember, these don't have to be company-wide goals. They can just be goals for folks on your team. It could be goals for your division. But once you have this, it's super readily accessible. So I may be having a one-on-one with Armin, and I could click here, and then I could go back to the goals, see what's going on, go back to Armin. It's all within very fast access, and I can have my one-on-one and go get the context for the goals. And it's in this place where I get to see it all the time. So I'm never falling behind on what our actual goals are. I can see it all there. Let's talk about just another thing that you could use this for. Another one is just a concept of, say that you have a project that's ongoing. So for example, say that we are working on a new feature, let's call it Fellow 2.0. Say we're building Fellow 2.0, and Fellow 2.0 has a lot of things that we want to do. So I will start by creating a private stream. I don't want to share it with anyone just yet, but again, same story. I'll start with a blank template to just give me a clean slate, and I'll just call it Fellow 2.0. And it probably has a few sections. Maybe there are some design goals, and then maybe there are some feature goals, and then maybe there's just some small to-dos that we need to do. And the idea is that you can start to, you can basically start to list this stuff out, and you may have a check-in or so every few days, right? Or you just want to have this shared list where everybody can come in and reference from time to time. So once you have this in place, you can then share it with different people, and say Harriet and Armin again as an example. I can do that and share it with these people. It's not going to show up in my shared section over here. And so now this is kind of a project that we can track. So when we might have like a check-in, a milestone, and then maybe we want to create another note as part of this, then I can effectively choose the same template. I should actually save it as a template before I do, and then I can create a new note as part of that. But I could also just use this as a shared to-do list. So this could be just one long list, and as we go through the items, we can basically check them off as we see them. So finally, what if you actually got to a place that you could then you're done with this particular project. In that particular case, what you might want to do is just archive the stream. And if you archive the stream, don't worry, it doesn't go away forever. It just goes into your archive section, and you can always retain it or get it back, but it doesn't clutter your interface. So that's something that we recommend. If you have shared streams that you're not actively using, then you can basically get rid of it that way. So that's how we track goals here internally at Fellow using the shared stream section. We use it for some projects and some shared tasks, and we recommend that you definitely check it out for all those things. Thank you so much for joining, and we will see you in the next video.